I am poolside, I look the part, I've got my kit bag with me, and for this series of videos about learning to swim better freestyle or front crawl, we're going to use the Endless Pool, which is a great bit of training kit, but you can use any pool that you want to, outdoors, indoors. I love being outdoors in the winter, it's just brilliant. You get a little bit of vitamin D, it makes you feel good about yourself, and a lovely cold January Friday morning is just perfect. So let's get in. Nice 32 degrees. Got your goggles on, you got your hat on, and we've got to get this face in the water. It's super important. You can't swim a better front crawl without doing it. So how can we do it? You can simply put your arms in front of you and just get used to maybe popping your face further and further in the water. And then when you get comfortable with that, hold it there for a little bit longer and try and breathe out. Breathe some bubbles out and then lift up. And take your time with it. Take as much time as you need with it. So let's see, let's give it a go. And you can do that for as long as you want, but you have to try and get your face in the water. Alternatively, you can go to the edge of the pool. I've got a bar here, and you can hang on to the edge of the pool, and you can give your legs a kick. You can even use a breaststroke kick if you want to, but just get those legs working, and then with your arms straight, dip your head in the water. And I recognise how hard it is. I teach plenty of swimmers who've got real anxiety about getting their face in the water. But what we do, we take our time with it, and I can stand up in this pool, so it's great. I don't feel that I'm in an environment that is going to frighten me or overpower me in any way. And that's really important, again, which is why I say use the child's pool, the baby pool, the teaching pool, whatever you choose to call it. Other ways that you can do it, you can try and sink to the bottom of the pool. And the way that you sink is by not making yourself airtight, is by letting the bubbles out, letting the air out. So again, we can just try and sink down. So take a deep breath in, and then as you sink, blow the air out slowly. Okay, so let's give it a go. And then you may find that your confidence will grow as you do lots of these different exercises. And you can just mimic a front crawl action and hold your arms out and give a couple of strokes and just see how it feels. Whatever works for you. But I would say that if you're finding it really, really difficult, don't give up. Keep persevering with it, because like I say, you have to get your face in the water in order to swim a better front crawl. So the first thing that we need to think about is our body position in swimming. And that involves about how we hold ourselves in the water, our head position, where our arms are. And it's really important that we get that right. So what I would suggest is maybe your first dip into a pool at your local leisure centre is maybe go for the child's pool or the baby pool. It's a little bit warmer, because this is going to be sort of fairly sort of slow and steady stuff, and you may be a little bit static from time to time, so it's really important. So this is why getting the right swim kit together is really important, and getting a pair of goggles on. To swim better front crawl, you're going to need your goggles, because you have got to put your face in the water. In swimming, our head is our rudder. Whatever our head does, it affects our whole body position. So if our head is up when we're trying to swim front crawl, our legs just sink, and we have what we call an uphill swimming position. So we need to be able to get our head in the water, and it needs to be aligned with our spine. We don't walk with our head up or looking down. We walk with our head neutral, and it's exactly the same in swimming. So everything needs to be aligned with the spine. So what we're just going to try and do now is just demonstrate a few ways that you can get comfortable about getting your face in the water if you're not, and breathing out while you're in the water. So I'll just give you some examples, and again, do this in a warm pool. Do it in the baby pool. Don't go into a cold training pool, because like I say, there's going to be a lot of static swimming in these initial phases of learning to swim better front crawl. So what I want you to do first of all is I'm going to ask you to hold your breath, so to keep you airtight, that allow you to float with ease. So don't blow the air out, keep the air in, and just get yourself into what we call a streamline position. True streamline, we would have palm over palm, but for this particular streamline, we're going to keep everything shoulder width apart, and we're going to imagine that we're in a cylinder, and we're going to try and take up as little water space as we can, whilst maintaining a long and strong body position. So let's give it a go. Now what you can see there is I held my breath, my toes were pointed, my fingers were long and strong, I wasn't tense, and my head position was looking down, was perfectly neutral. I happen to have a treadmill in this pool, and my eyes are looking straight down at the treadmill. So once again, I want you to see whether you can hold that position and just feel some strength. Okay, pull your core in, just feel strong and not tense, and that's what you need to do. So again, deep breath, neutral head position, toes pointed, fingers not splayed but not tense. Okay, everything long and strong in that lovely streamline position, and arms in line with your shoulders. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so once you feel comfortable with that and you've been able to hold your breath, we now want to introduce some breathing. And when we start to let the air go, we may feel our body sink a little bit. So we might feel that we may need to sort of paddle our legs a little bit to keep us on top of the water. But I'm going to introduce the swim snorkel now. So with the swim snorkel, you need to put your goggles down first of all, because the bar of the snorkel fits across your forehead. Okay, and it should be straight, so it goes straight down the front, and all you do is bite in to this sort of gum shield and create a really tight seal with your mouth. But then you've got to learn to switch off your nose. If you can't do that, get a nose clip, okay, and that will help, but I don't need one, so I'm going to bite in, and then I'm just going to put my face in the water, and I'm going to breathe like Darth Vader all through my mouth. So and that it is quite difficult, so don't worry if you don't get this straight away, but it's so worth persevering with it, because like I said, this is the best bit of swim kit or swim aid that you'll ever purchase. So let's just give it a go. And there you go, that feels really good, although I feel like I'm going to choke at the moment, but that feels really good. And I just started to paddle my legs a little bit, just move them up and down, just to make sure that my legs didn't sink and I didn't get into that uphill body position where our legs are lower than our head.